talk American League MVP here. Not a shocker. The reigning king in this spot, Shohei Ohtani, the favorite at -115. Aaron Judge is close behind, though, at +150. Seems like a two-horse race here, Gary. And is there anyone else you would consider for American League most valuable player?
No, I think it's pretty much these two, barring some sort of strange, almost like simultaneous injury to these two guys. This is going to be a really interesting case study. I mean, not only do you have, the people who were already tired of Shohei Ohtani last season and were already making the claims all offseason, like, oh, well, if he's just going to do this, he's going to win MVP every single season. Like, how do we live in a world like that? Well, he's still fantastic, and he's still, in my opinion, the most deserving of this award. He deserves to be the favorite. I mean, even if you look at some marginal slip in his offensive numbers this season, and his advanced profile is not identical to what it was last season, but much more positive than his surface numbers, he's still probably going to hit 30 home runs and steal 20 bases. He's striking out less than he did last season, and he's a much better pitcher than he was last season when he won this award. So he's basically carrying the same amount of weight as he was last season when he was, I believe, the unanimous selection for AL MVP. The place where this gets interesting is there's a very solid chance that, like, Aaron Judge hits 55 home runs and the Yankees win 115 games. And, there's a little bit of media in the city of New York. And if Shohei Ohtani wins this while the Angels win 72 games, there's going to be a referendum on what most valuable player means. Sort of akin to, like, the Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout debate we had a decade ago. But I'm strapping in and I'm ready for that, because if Shohei Ohtani, as long as he keeps playing like he's been playing, he has to win MVP.
Yeah, Nick, I feel like there's no sharp play right now with AL MVP. You're either late on those two guys, Judge and Ohtani, or expecting way too much to happen in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to try and go and take someone with longer odds, like Yordan Alvarez is number 3, and he's at like 1,000 right now on the DK Sportsbook, like, you have to have everything go wrong with Shohei Ohtani. Like, he's got to get hurt. He's got to get the yips, all this kind of stuff. Aaron Judge, same thing. He's just got to fall off the planet and get lost on the subway or something in New York. There's no way one of these two guys aren't coming home with it. But Ohtani is definitely the guy right now who, I mean, they have the odds, of course, correct on DK Sportsbook. Ohtani's going to get it. The only reason this isn't like -300 right now at this point is just a matter of, is he going to get injured or something like that. I'd like to see Judge win it just because, like, I don't necessarily want it to be the same guy every year. I understand if someone's the best player in baseball, but even in like years where Ohtani is kind of going to be like good, not great in both pitching and hitting, he's still going to be in that category. And this year he's been pretty awesome at both. So, I mean, it makes sense. He's going to take this home.
No, I totally agree with you there. And Maddie, as much as like people like Nick love Judge, I mean, in my opinion, there's just no way to compete with what Ohtani offers on both sides of the ball.
I'm not sure, actually. Well, these two guys, it's just one metric, but in Fangraphs WAR, these are the number 1 and 2 wins above replacement guys in all of baseball for this season, not just the American League.
Yeah, I think they're deadlocked, right? Aren't they deadlocked at 4.7?
Right, so they're actually really close, and both of them are playing probably a lot better than we expected this year, but I think it is legitimately close just who's been better this year. There are a lot of ways to quantify players. The fact that Ohtani does it on both sides of the ball, like, that is relevant, but he also won MVP last year doing this exact thing for this reason. And if Judge does finish with a higher WAR and the Yankees are going to be ahead of the Angels in the standings, that is a 100% certainty. The Yankees are going to make the playoffs. The Angels almost certainly will not make the playoffs. So if they are close in wins above replacement, like, the only case I think for Ohtani at that point is just that it's unusual what he's done, that it is breaking the mold of how top-end baseball players have performed, except he won the award for that exact reason last year. So I think voter fatigue is the one piece I would add on to that, where it's like, yes, Ohtani could end up being the most deserving, but he's not going to win just because he's a pitcher and a hitter. Like, that reasoning, I think, ended last year. And ultimately, I think there is some value on Judge right now, where this probably is about a 50-50 race.